Good, how are you? How are you? Well, hello everybody. It's good to be here. Well, I'm happy to be here. I will start off by telling you an undisclosed number of years ago, I showed up to register for classes at Michigan State University. It was back when there were trimesters. There's a hint. It was a while ago. And I showed up at the pit where we registered for classes, and I paid with my Met card. And so Governor Blanchard was in office then. I wish I could tell 18-year-old me one day I would be governor. I might have scared the heck out of myself, actually. And have a chance to celebrate by standing next to or with the man who was the one who signed this into becoming a reality and an opportunity for so many Michiganders. I have personally benefited from the Michigan Education Trust, and I know that thousands of our fellow Michiganders have as well. And for decades, this program has been saving families and students money as they pursue higher education. So today, on Met's 35th anniversary, we are awarding Met 15,000 prepaid tuition contracts to 100 Michiganders between 0 and 5. That's enough to cover 2 years of tuition at a community college and one heck of a head start toward a bachelor's degree. It's an opportunity to put more Michiganders on a path to a good-paying, high-demand career that they will enjoy. And I think about people like Ari, who's sitting over here. He's here today with his mom, Brittany, and Ari and Brittany will have the special distinction of being the first to enter into the giveaway that begins today. Met has been proven to uplift Michigan students. 96% of our high school graduates with Met go on to pursue higher education. Today, over 7,600 Met students are attending Michigan colleges and universities. Over 1,200 more are attending private or out-of-state colleges. And recently, under the leadership of our phenomenal state treasurer, Rachel Eubanks, Met has returned to a discounted, age-based pricing structure for the first time in more than a decade. Instead of charging one price across all ages, age-based pricing will save even more, especially if parents start early when their kids are at their littlest. I encourage parents to act today and to invest in their children's future. Join Met, save money, and empower our best to become our brightest as well. At the state level, I will continue getting things done to invest in schools and our students and our educators from preschool to post-secondary. For 3 years running, I've signed bipartisan, balanced budgets that make the largest per pupil investment in state history 3 years in a row, and we are poised for a 4th year. Together, we have closed the funding gap between districts in Michigan, and we're improving every child's in-class experience without raising taxes in the process. I've worked with the legislature to expand preschool through the Great Start Readiness Program, which is unique to Michigan, a phenomenal thing that we offer, and we're expanding it to 22,000 more 4-year-olds. And we have set up workforce programs for Michiganders to get tuition-free jobs or skills training, and over 180,000 Michiganders have already taken the first step by getting enrolled. On Monday, I proposed the Michigan Kids Back on Track, My Kids Back on Track, a tutoring program to help our children get caught up and on the right track after a tough couple of years. Now, I'll keep looking for ways to help our students, and I'll partner with anyone who wants to make sure that our kids are getting the support they need and our educators are as well. And of course, we have funded our universities from the mighty Michigan State to the acceptable U of M. I'm just teasing. Both my girls are at U of M. We have phenomenal universities, and community colleges all across the state of Michigan. It is a huge strength for our state, and it is a huge selling point as we lure investment into Michigan. And so we are fortunate to have so many great colleges and universities, public and private. And so I am proud to be the governor of the state, proud of the work that is happening here that is epitomized by the work that my good friend, our former governor, Jim Blanchard, started. And with that, I think I'll hand it over to him. Governor Blanchard, thank you.
Thank you, Governor Whitmer. Thank you. I talked about her being a Met baby, but you really weren't a baby when Met was created, but young. I happen to have been governor in my childhood, as you may know. It was quite a challenging, exciting time. But thank you for the job you're doing, Governor Whitmer. I really appreciate it. I know everybody appreciates the fact that you actually, along with Treasurer Eubanks, cut the price of Met. That's anti-inflation. Cut the price. When have you heard that, folks? That's a real achievement. Of course, it's part of because the program is so well managed, the finances and the investments have been so outstanding that you're able to do that. I've viewed the Michigan Education Trust is one of those good ideas that got developed by good and dedicated public servants into what became a great program. My state treasurer at the time, Bob Bowman, who could not be here, his plane ended up with mechanical problems, was the architect. I was the one that gave him a vague idea, but he came up with the actual plan. And in the legislature, Senator Bill Cederberg, who's here now we know him as Dr. Cederberg because actually he was a PhD years ago, also was president of Ferris State University, the university system in Utah, is still a major consultant to universities everywhere, was in the state Senate, and he was really instrumental in getting this through the legislature. This is a product of a bipartisan effort working together. It shows that government can be creative. I will mention, too, that there were two things that weighed on my mind when we created Met. One was I'd read about a man named Eugene Lang in New York who'd gone to his 6th grade and was worrying about their future, trying to incentivize them to think big. The teacher of the 6th grade said, you can talk all you want about opportunity and responsibility, but they don't really have an incentive to go forward and graduate from high school, much less consider college. And so Eugene Lang said to the class, I'm going to challenge you. If you study and work hard and get good grades, I'm going to pay for your college education. And I'm going to make sure you do that. I'm going to have counselors to work with you. It turned out to be a smashing success. I read about Eugene Lang and I thought, how can we incentivize our own families, parents, grandparents, to incentivize little kids into thinking about the fact that if they study, there's a certificate on the wall that says, you're going to go to college. You're going to have tuition paid for. The other cause of my approach was I kept reading about the unconscionable student debt that people faced, student loan debt, when they graduated from college. And I thought, this is terrible. Whatever we can do to reduce that crushing burden would be really good. So I asked Treasurer Bowman to see what he could do. We had straightened out Michigan's finances. We were in a strong credit rating position as the state of Michigan. I thought people had confidence in our finances. Bob came back with the idea of Met, where we actually guarantee tuition for students when they're ready for college. They have to get admitted, but they don't even have to go to a public university in Michigan. They could go outstate, they could go to a private school. They would get the average tuition of a college in Michigan, but they would have tuition free. So for 35 years, we have basically 35 years we have guaranteed tuition for our students, and I think it'll be another 35 years more. I might say that when Bob Bowman came back with the idea, and Bob is currently president of the Met Board, and Treasurer Eubanks is chair of the board. Again, thank you for your leadership. When he came out with the idea, people said, it can't be done. If it could have been done, it would have been done. And people from Wall Street came here. Now, Bob had worked on Wall, tried to prove it couldn't be done, and of course, it was done. In fact, 21 states copied it, and we're proud of that as well. And students and families have benefited all these years. The program has run a surplus. I mean, we're basically celebrating the fact that a competent government can work, and it can be bipartisan, and we're celebrating that a government can work. I might add, too, in our first year, we had 40,000 families enrolled. Bob Colt, a public relations consultant, also someone that helps Lansing schools, just gave me a photo of a skinny Jim Blanchard with, at Spartan Stadium with students with the numbers 82,495, though that was the number of people who expressed an interest in the first offering. We ended up with 70,000, and now there's tens of thousands enrolled. So this thing is going on and on and on. And so I want to thank all of you for showing the interest. I want to thank you, Governor, for your strong support. I love this idea of these scholarship awards you're giving. I guess you'd call it a giveaway. I would call it a scholarship reward or bonus because of the plan is so well managed. It's a wonderful thing, and I know you're going to hear from others, but I do want to introduce the man in the state Senate who was a leader in higher education, who's also a proud PhD from Michigan State University, who then later served as president of Ferris State University, then head of the Utah State University system, now living in North Carolina. But it was really kind of him to come to be with us to celebrate a government that works for the people of our state. I give you Dr. Bill Cederberg.
I think he's too kind. It is an honor to be here today. My wife and I now live in Asheville, North Carolina, and I would be remiss if I did not mention that she used to teach in the Lansing School District. She was a school psychologist, and I think this predates Riddle Elementary, and I understand the Riddle family is here today. I think it predates the Riddle family by a little bit, but I really got acquainted with Joyce as a volunteer in her preschool class at the elementary school that predates this one. And so she would say hello, and we hope all the kids in the in Lansing School District are doing very well. Governor, it's an honor to be in the state. I live in a neighborhood that has at least 13 Michigan State graduates with bumper stickers and at least 12 Michigan graduates with bumper stickers and flags. And Michigan is alive and well in Asheville, North Carolina. And we watch what you are doing and what the legislature is doing, and we are very impressed with the turnaround in Michigan, and it's proud to be a Michigander currently to see the strides that are being made. So keep up the good work. I don't know whether you're listening to Governor Blanchard or not, but he's a good advisor. So that's a little bit of advice. Now, my job here is twofold. The first thing is to recognize a little bit of the history. So I'm a young state senator from Lansing. This is my district. Gretchen, you represented the Ingham County following me as well. In walks Bob Bowman. Now, Bob, it's unfortunate that he's not here, but we called him the whiz kid because the governor had recruited him out of an elementary school in New York or somewhere. And he just knew all the numbers and all the statistics. And he said, Bill, I got an idea. And that was the Met idea. And he said, can we count on your support? And he wouldn't get out of my office until I said yes. And so I said yes. It sounded like a great opportunity to enhance educational opportunities for Michigan residents. And that's exactly what it was all about. And so I was able to go out to other colleagues in the Senate, and I don't know, we rounded up 6 or 7 Republican senators to join the bipartisan effort, and we got the bill passed. And very proud that it was a bipartisan effort, it was a collaborative effort, and it was all based upon the need to improve educational opportunities for our constituents. And so, Governor, you're much better at PR than I am. You had a graphic up here showing 82,000. I remember the event that was held at a local high school. I think 3,000 people showed up to learn about the MET program. And that was just a flavor of how significant it was in those days. Well, these days, I was chatting with Dan Hurley, who's the CEO of the Michigan Association of State Universities, and they had commissioned a poll, I think, 2 years ago that found that 90% of Michigan residents Michigan's parents want their children to go on to post-secondary education, but the number one limitation is cost. And programs such as MET, programs such as the 529 plan and other programs are aimed at dealing with that 70%. I understand, and this is the second part of why I'm here, is bipartisanship is more critical today than it was in 1986. It is just, we have a desperate need to reach across the aisle, and I am told that there are a lot of good conversations going on between Republican leaders and the governor's office and Democratic leaders on how do we make a significant investment in those educational opportunities. So as somebody that's sitting in Asheville, North Carolina, looking at Michigan, cheering for Michigan State, not so much Michigan, but Michigan State, we want you guys to come to a bipartisan agreement to really enhance higher education here in this state, and I just know you're going to be able to do that. Now, finally, before I get the big hook and hold off here, I have to tell you one just little personal story about the Met conversation. So we passed the bill in December of 1986, and it's Christmas time, and my parents are visiting, and we have 2 young kids, and we're having a nice Christmas, and I get this call from Jim Blanchard. And he says, Bill, I'm just calling to thank you for your support of MET. And I don't get a call every day from the governor. Maybe you guys do. I don't know about that. But I was impressed, and we chatted a little while. And pretty soon, the kids are kind of getting antsy, and they want to get on to opening gifts or something like that. And I said, Governor, I've got to go. And then the governor is a very social guy. He says, can I talk to your mother? And the governor talked to my mother for 30 minutes. And she got off the phone call and she said, oh, that governor, he's a nice man. He's a nice man. So my mother endorsed you. I don't think we used that in your campaign. But, you know, had you known that, I'm sure you would have. So anyway, it's great to be here. That's a little bit of history. Higher education is absolutely critical, not because of the institutions, but because of what it means for the parents and the young people and the state overall. So whatever we can do to enhance the education level beyond secondary school is absolutely critical. So thank you for having me today. And I will now turn it over to Rachel Eubanks. Rachel has been the state treasurer since 2019 when the governor took office. She has done a phenomenal job. I have found we may be connected through common people in North Carolina. So the world is fairly small. So Rachel, your stock just went up in my mind. So Rachel Eubanks.
Well, those are 3 impossible acts to follow, but I just want to say how special this is for me personally. One, to get to lead this department, to do this phenomenal kind of work, and thank you, Governor Whitmer, for the opportunity, and to lead the same department where my mother worked, under Governor Blanchard, under Bob Bowman's treasury. So this is really, truly a special day for me. But I will talk a little bit about, some of this work that the staff and the board have been working on to get us to where we are today and what this giveaway is about. So as Governor Blanchard mentioned, MET is the state of Michigan's prepaid tuition program administered by the Michigan Department of Treasury that lets families pay today's prices for future higher education costs. More than 96% of high school graduates participating in MET attended a college, university, or technical school. There are 3 types of MET plans: the full benefits plan, the limited benefits plan, and the community colleges plan. And families can pick one plan or mix and match from options. MET benefits can be used for post-secondary education at universities, colleges, and technical schools. And if a child chooses to attend a private Michigan school or out-of-state college and university, funds can be directed to that institution as well. MET benefits may also be transferred to other eligible family members and are refundable if the student chooses to attend trade school or does not attend college. MET has been helping families pay for their children's higher education for 35 years, but we've never helped like this before. Under MET's giveaway, Michigan residents 18 years or older on August 31st, 2022 are eligible to enter on behalf of beneficiaries from birth to the age of 5 by the same date for a chance to win one of $115,000 prepaid tuition prizes. The prepaid tuition prize may be used to pay for future tuition and mandatory fees at a community college, university, or trade school in accordance with MET terms and conditions. The giveaway entry begins today and ends on August 31st, 2022. And the winners will be announced in a series of drawings beginning September 12th. Michiganders can enter the giveaway and review rules and eligibility criteria at www.metgiveaway.com. And the idea behind the giveaway is to help make 100 dreams come true by reaching more families and helping more children achieve success through higher education. We are excited to shine a light, a $1.5 million spotlight to be more specific, on MET, and to show parents, grandparents, and others how it's a safe, secure, and flexible way to make sure their loved ones meet their future education and career goals. A person may enter only once, but multiple people may enter on behalf of the same child. So there's a little tip for you. So don't wait. $15,000 in college savings is life-changing. And so thank you so much for this event. And I also want to thank Superintendent Shuldiner today for allowing us to have this event in one of his lovely facilities. So over to you, Superintendent.
Thank you so much. You know, as a superintendent, when you hear about all these incredible events and all these things that are happening for our children, I appreciate that somebody prepared remarks for me, but I don't really have to use them because for this, I get to speak from the heart. What do we know? We know higher ed is really good. You look at any way you want to, going to college, going to trade school, doing whatever it takes to get more education, that's a wonderful thing. But what else do we know? It's really expensive, and it only gets more expensive. So the fact that this great state has a program that allows for children and families to start saving early, that's incredible. We know that there's a debt crisis in this country. It's backbreaking in some respects. It's hard. Things like college shouldn't be unattainable just because of the economic background that you have. College is one of those great equalizers. It's one of those great things that can bring you up and get you those skills in order to get jobs, to get promoted in the world, to just feel great about yourself and to learn. You know, there's a lot of talk about how, you know, we really need to go back to trade schools and learning skills. That's wonderful too. But what's great about this program is that's funding for all of it. And so for me to be able to stand here as superintendent in the great city of Lansing and the great school district of Lansing, I can say a couple of things about this district and why it's even more amazing to stand here. We are the first and only district in the state that has universal pre-K because we know having kids in school early matters. That's very powerful. But as a superintendent, we can only do so much. We can teach those kids from pre-K to 12, and we can get them on that right path, but it's a program like this that can actually get them to succeed even further. But there's another truth, and the other truth is that this is proof that government can be good. As a public servant, as a person who runs a public school district, sometimes there's attacks on what government can do. But government can in fact be the most good because they have the leverage to do things like this. That's what's so powerful about this. Sometimes it's hard for families to access private institutions, to access private money. But here we have a government that says, you know what matters? Education. You know what matters? Children. And I hope that everybody listening to this, and I know nobody's going to listen to me, they'll listen to the governors and everybody else, but at least you in the room have to listen to me. And I hope that you believe and you understand just how powerful public institutions can be for the betterment of our kids. So thank you to everybody who's been able to put this together. And speaking of children, I guess that's the job of the superintendent here, is I get to bring up Brittany and Ari, who are going to do something special about the MET program. So thank you all for being here in the great city of Lansing, in the great school district of Lansing. We welcome you every day. Thank you very much. Hello.
We need a little tiny podium for him.
So I totally agree with you, Superintendent. I have these wonderful remarks made, but this is just something so close to the heart, I don't need to use them. This is Ari. He's 2. Say hi. Hi, Ari. He was very excited to meet the governor and the owl. He's been talking about it all day. And we have 2 other kids at home, a 10-year-old and an 8-year-old. They're at school. I honestly thought about breaking my daughter out because you're her, like, big hero. But I figured since this is about education, I probably shouldn't have them skip school today. But yeah, a little bit about us. I am a retired attorney and currently a small business owner. But I was able to go to school mostly on scholarships, and I know that's not something you can plan for. So this is a really great, sorry, he's making me nervous. Come here. Okay, I don't want him to break anything. It's just a really great opportunity for any kid, but I'm especially excited for the younger kids because it's not really on our purview as parents of toddlers to start planning right now for education, but it's a great opportunity, and I think this giveaway will give a lot of attention to the fact that we should be planning now and saving now. So we are excited to sign up and just give me my phone and we'll scan the QR code and get the party started.
All right, yeah, go ahead. If you would scan the QR code. So it's just this easy. It thinks I'm a robot. Oh. All right, we did it. All right. Woo! So, Brittany, this is an honor to have you and Ari be our first entrants for our wonderful giveaway. And, yeah. And Houdini wants to say hi to Ari as well. Oh, there you go. He's running over here. To Brittany and Ari, we want to just wish you congratulations and your family the best of luck and look forward to one day soon counting Ari and his siblings to be amongst one of Met's success stories. So we encourage every person 18 and older to enter the Met 35th anniversary $1.5 million giveaway on behalf of a child for a chance for them to win $15,000 in prepaid tuition and for everyone to help us join us in spreading the word. Now we have a few minutes to answer any questions that our friends in the media may have, and so we will go ahead and conclude today's event. Thank you all for joining us today.